Grant Morrison and Michael Janin tell a very different Superman story as the aged hero calls on Manchester Black to help aid in his one final push to give the world a secure future. But Black, thanks to his blind hatred for the Man of Steel, will take a little bit of convincing. Grant Morrison returns to Superman in both a very Grant Morrison way and a very un-Grant Morrison way, telling a rather simple opener for his 4-part story, which will connect up with most of the Superman family books going on at the moment, specifically Action Comics. The issue is some straight up Superman goodness, with the hero spending most of the time trying to convince one of his most staunch haters to join him and do some good in the world and be a hero for once. The signature Grant Morrison weirdness is there as well, thanks to a portion of the story involving Superman's promise to JFK and King Arthur, whom he knows thanks to the hero's unseen time travel shenanigans, which are the crux of the story, with Superman now old and realizing that he and many of the other heroes of his generation are out of time to save the world since they've been dealing with their own problems, which funnily enough tracks in with what Infinite Frontier has been saying about some people believing the heroes are getting too distracted with their own villains and rebirths and crises to actually save humanity. It's an interesting concept to explore, and even better to explore it with Superman and Grant Morrison writing, since not only does he understand the character almost to a fault, but he can actually bring something new to the table for once for the character, as well as his friendship with Manchester Black. Michael Janin's signature style covers the book from cover to cover, and boy does it look fantastic here. His redesign of Superman is brilliant, perfectly combining familiar elements like the Kingdom Come Superman and even other heroes like Tom Strong for what could very well be one of my favourite older Superman suits. Superman and the Authority Issue 1 was a fantastic opener to Grant Morrison's exciting new Superman story, imbuing the story with some classic Superman character work along with some new and exciting status quo shifts and concepts to put the Man of Steel and Manchester Black through. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Superman and the Authority Issue 1 heads back in time to Washington DC in 1963, where JFK tells Superman that the world is waiting for him to come out of the shadows and show himself, and he is what America needs. Superman doesn't understand why he was brought to the White House, wondering if he needs protection in Dallas. But JFK says that he doesn't need that sort of stuff, but what he does need Superman to do is more important, because the hero represents progress, hope, and the future, since he's the man of tomorrow. He says the wartime JSA tried to make a difference where the law couldn't, and the Mystery Men played their part in ending World War II, but Superman and his kind should stand tall and end war itself and take them to the stars. Superman says he'll see what he can do about that, and Jack knows that he will, since he knows what the hero is capable of. He says he himself is committed to putting an American on Mars by the end of the 1960s without Superman's help, since he wants human ingenuity to lead the way. But if something were to go wrong or to happen to him, he hopes that Superman can be counted on and people like him, wanting to trust in him that he'll make it so that future generations won't have to fight for a finer world. Superman agrees with him, promising the president, who tells him to call him Jack. As Superman helps train astronauts on the moon, JFK is assassinated in Dallas. Decades later, Manchester Black is woken from his drug-fueled slumber by the police, who have his building surrounded. Lighting a cigarette and having a drink, Manchester listens as he is given one more warning. He coughs thanks to the drink, finding himself feeling a lot better as gas is thrown into the building, making him wish that they would have just rang the bell. The teams below want to be let off the leash as they notice that their commander isn't wearing his psi blocker and has become infected by Black's powers, making him see a sci-fi insect robot hell, causing him to panic and freak out. He wants to know where his team's psi blocker helmets are, but the team say that he's the one not wearing one. In the chaos, Manchester Black leaves the building, knowing that everyone there is in shambles and the boys in the guns and the choppers really think that he gives a damn. He flips off the choppers above him as he dares them to kill him if they have the chance. One of the soldiers let loose on the man, hitting him several times as he falls to the ground, knowing that the rebels always end up defeating the Empire or there'd be no story. Soon he's electrocuted as a being slams into the ground nearby, telling the men that he'll take over from here. Manchester Black passes out as a voice says that he wonders when did the idea come to him and when did they decide to go through with this. The voice says that it must have been in the winter of 1963 when he had been lost in time and they vowed to find others and somehow together they could pool their resources to make Earth a better place. The voice says that maybe it wasn't going to work on this planet, but he made a promise to the doomed Jack Kennedy that he would try. Manchester awakens in the Fortress of Solitude, stuck in a chair as a voice says that he forgot what it meant as Black recognizes his unmistakable Midwestern drawl. The voice says that after JFK's death, the dominoes begun to fall, from Bobby Kennedy to MLK, the space race, Intergang, Darkseid, and Doomsday. The voice says he's losing the power of flight, but he keeps himself active by levitating 3 inches from the ground 6 times a day. He says that him and the Justice League looked up to find that they had run out of time to deliver on their promises, and they made it all about them with their enemies and deaths and rebirths and crises. Manchester Black calls the man a monster, who is mocking them with his perfection, wondering how happy Superman is now that he is broken. The older Superman says that he is running out of time to fix the world and that he needs to set things right, whatever it takes, and he thinks Manchester Black can help. Black thinks that he is in hell and being punished, and he had hoped Superman had finally done the decent thing and killed himself, wanting it on record that he is only listening to the hero because he cannot run away. He wonders if this is some type of revenge for what he has done to the hero over the years, knowing crippling him is finishing him off as a human being. He asks what he's meant to do now, wondering if Superman will make him some disabled professor for a new mentally ill super team. Superman says that he actually saved the man, and he'll only need the hover chair for another hour or so until the nanoids get done repairing his back so he can calm down. Black says that he's got chronic back pain, but Clark knows that's a good thing since his spine was injured and he shouldn't actually feel anything, and he had internal bleeding, so he saved the man with some heat vision spinal surgery. The man says that he was barely anesthetized during it, knowing Superman was always some type of sadist and tyrant. Superman says he saved him from a life of paraplegia, but Black doesn't care since he tried to kill Superman and his loved ones more than once, and he led his own super team and he's a wanted man, or so his Wikipedia will say. He demands to know why Superman would save him, since no matter what happens, he's going to let the hero down on purpose, and if Superman can't see that, then he's really losing it. Superman takes Black into a room where he says from there he can see everything in the world, and thanks to his super senses failing, he used Kryptonian science to take their place. Black says that he doesn't really seem to care about privacy, knowing the world rejected him for rummaging around their underwear drawers with his X-ray vision. Superman says that privacy isn't a thing anymore really, since in his experience most people are so keen to share every moment of their lives online. Black asks what the flashing orb in the room is, so Superman says it's an alarm connected to the Phantom Zone, and when Kryptonian scientists first discovered it, they sent in some exploratory probes that were robots, and these machines have now gone rogue, and they'll soon learn how to crack the zone portal locks in 12 minutes, and that's how long he's got to convince Manchester Black to help him. Manchester demands to know how long he's had criminals locked in his jail, wondering if it's because they littered or didn't pay their space taxes. Superman says that they are sociopathic supermaniacs and they have each attempted to overthrow or destroy Earth when they break loose. Manchester Black says that there are a lot of people jumping on the hate bandwagon for Superman now, but he was the first to ever do it and he could spot a trend a mile off, and even these people called him a supermaniac as well. Black begins to stand from the chair as he continues his rant about what Superman is doing is hate speech. He notices he's standing now as Superman says the nano frame seems to have done its job faster than expected. Superman says that his powers aren't what they used to be, and if he can't stop the Zonodroids, they'll cause untold havoc, and right now, Manchester Black could make a difference. Clark tells the villain that if he is trying to appeal to the supermaniac in him, he would say that his crimes are as long as Plastic Man's arm, and he's looking for gifted people forced to live beyond the law and consensus, and people who have something to offer and want to make a difference. People who can duplicate the powers that he lost and stand in for him. He knows that Black has nowhere to go and nothing to live for, but he could stay there and stop running and they could do some good. Black thinks that he's being intimidated, telling Superman to go to hell, but the hero says that hell is coming for them as the Phantom Zone incursion is happening right now, and the world could use another hero. Manchester, however, leaves the fortress as Superman faces the Zonodroids himself, viciously fighting with the robots, but they soon overwhelm him. Manchester, meanwhile, out in the cold, fights with himself about whether whether to come back or not, as the Zoner droids proclaim that they will kill the son of El. Superman wonders if this is all they've got, wanting them to try a bit harder as a thought beast attacks the droids. But they know it's not real, returning to killing Superman. Manchester Black says that that's his line. Realizing his illusions don't work on AIs, he decides to try his telekinesis instead, blowing apart the droids as Superman smashes them up as well, making them head back into the Phantom Zone. He thanks Black for saving him, hoping that he would come back. Superman knows that he could reprogram the droid that was left behind to map the Phantom Zone for him, as Manchester Black says that he's been thinking about what he said, saying that if Superman and the Justice League had done something about it when they had the chance, the world wouldn't have turned out like this, since he was at his peak in the day. Clark knows they all made a fatal mistake, knowing that they thought they didn't have to try. He wants Black to never take anything or anyone for granted, as in Earth's orbit, a being says that for decades they have been waiting for this day, and Superman is weak, and now the being is strong. The being says that his oldest enemy is exactly where they want him, and he lied about his secret life and about his son and the truth about kryptonite, and now only they will know how to destroy him. Manchester Black agrees to help Superman, who shows him King Arthur's round table, something Black can't believe he actually has. Superman says he fought side by side with a few different King Arthurs, having saved this table from the second fall of Camelot. Manchester Black wonders what Arthur told Clark, so the hero says that it was the same as JFK. He wanted him to resurrect the spirit of the collective action in his own time, and that's the real reason he brought him there, to succeed where he and the League failed. Manchester, however, is only interested in about the law being taken off his back, so Clark says if he's willing to make himself less conspicuous, he can do that. But he tells the man that there are a few people in his life he instinctively and viscerally dislikes, and he's always been one of them, but he knows Black can help him save the world for real this time. Later on, Manchester Black finishes assembling his anti-hero team, knowing he's got two A-listers on the team as well that will give their answer after their mission. Superman thinks that he should feel privileged, but Black says that a lot of people still want to work with him, not really understanding why, but knowing if he were the hero, he would want to get revenge on the whole world that rejected him, all because he told the truth about who he is inside. Superman asks why he would do that as he pours him and Black a drink. Black says that it would probably feel great to get even, but Superman disagrees, knowing that he thinks differently. He toasts to Manchester Black and to a finer world, as Manchester drinks the glass full of liquid, quickly spitting it out after finding it's just mineral water. Black says that he has a pre-existing medical condition where if he doesn't consume any alcohol on an hourly basis, he will go into shock and die. The man begins spasming, throwing himself over one of Superman's globes and vomiting, as Superman knows that this is indeed a finer world.